Mongolian food is, I would say, like 90% of the time very delicious, extremely good, well made. I mean, it's really delicious, even though they don't use a lot of materials. There's a lot of countries where they only have these 5 ingredients, but out of the 5 ingredients, they can make a lot of that, and that is exactly what Mongolia is like. They don't use a lot of fruits or vegetables because it doesn't grow in the cold. It's kind of a cold climate, and it's very meat. There's a lot of meat, but it's very well done. I mean, you have your carrots and potatoes, onions, garlic, turnips, things like that, those vegetables and things. So you can have your vegetables like that. I ate a lot of, with my companions, we would make stir fries a lot. We would cook up some rice and then make just a potato, so I think you call it like a stir fry or something, just an assortment of vegetables. And then members will make lots of things with, they'll fry bread a lot, and that's really delicious. Fried bread all the time, fried bread. They use a lot of flour. So flour, I would say the 3 ingredients that most people will use is just like the vegetables of like potatoes, carrots, onions, and then there's flour, and then there's meat. And then with those 3 things you can make any Mongolian food. It's and they don't use a lot of spices. It's not spicy. It's not like the Mongolian grill that is in America. It's not anything like that. It's really good. They make their traditional food is called bodes. It's like a little meat dumpling. It's about this big, and it's just got meat and onions in it, and they steam it and you eat it with ketchup, and it's just really good. Nowadays there's more variety. You can go to the market and get any fruit you want. It's a little more expensive, but when you're out in the districts talking to people or like going to their house and having food, they're probably not going to give you fruit. But you and your companion can buy all the fruit that you want. So missionaries are really spoiled nowadays. It's not like it was 20 years ago. The food is mostly delicious. If you don't like meat, maybe will be hard because there's a lot of meat. And there is, let's see, one great thing about the food is when you go into people's houses, they will always give you something to eat, even if it's just a small piece of candy, or they'll give you a big meal. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming with meal. I didn't gain a lot of weight on my mission, so I can't complain on either way. People not giving us any food, people giving us too much food. I think it was just right. And the people do, because it's a poor country, people will take the meat and use everything inside the animal, such as like the intestines, stomach, brain, eyes, blood, everything. So you use everything to eat with, but you'll get used to that. And so I had a lot of intestinal soup, which sounds gross, but it was all right, you know. It was good. And we ate lots of meat that you wouldn't, or like I would never have thought to eat that part of the body. But it was good that I don't have complaints. Just don't be a picky eater, don't be rude and turn down people's food. They use a lot of milk products too. They use milk in what they are dry milk curds. They're just milk that's gone dry, and they make it into kind of a chewy granola bar, but in like little pieces like this. It's the texture of granola bar. Most people don't like the taste at first. I didn't like the taste at first, but it will grow, like it can grow on you if you allow it to. And it's very Mongolian. It's nowhere else in the world. It's called arroz, and it's really interesting. They have lots of foods like that made out of milk products that they can eat because they were a nomadic society with herding. They are mostly just using meats and milk that you get from, you milk the cow and the horse, and you make that, and the goats, and then you will have your cows and your sheep, and you eat the meat from them. And they have They just have great food. I have no complaints with the food.
The food was, it was by no means crazy, I guess, which was the neat thing about Mongolia. A lot of meat. Meat, potatoes, rice, on the oily side, but you're not eating too many exotic bugs or weird things you might hear in other countries, or groundhog. You're going to eat some innards, some heart and lung and stew like that, but beyond that, it's nothing too crazy. You're going to take onions and mutton and chop it up and put some salt in it, and you're going to put it in kind of a dough, and you either boil it, steam it, or fry it. You boil it, it's banch. You steam it, it's bods. You fry it, it's hosha. And that's the main staple of food. But then you'll take chunks of beef and onion and cook those together and put rice on top, or you'll put a noodle on top. That's tuving, I believe. And those are kind of the main staples. And you also have what's called capital salad, nisl salad, which is a potato salad with egg, maybe some cucumber, maybe pickle if you're not lucky. Cucumber's much better. And a lot of hyam, which is kind of a summer sausage, where whatever's taken into the meat, into a big sausage, cut up into pieces. Those are kind of staples, and a lot of coleslaw. Those are the staples of Mongolia. So potatoes, cabbage, onions, meat. That's primarily what you get.